02 March 2021, paper 1, variant 2, topic dynamics. Question number 9. A skydiver who is falling vertically through the air opens his parachute. Which row describes the velocity of the skydiver immediately after he opens his parachute? So we have given four options, two columns each. Once we need to define the direction of the velocity and the magnitude of the velocity, whether it is increasing or decreasing. So let's discuss when the skydiver jumps from the aeroplane. So as soon he jumps, his velocity start increasing. So here is the velocity start increasing, and at this time the acceleration become constant, means equals to acceleration due to gravity. But as soon the as soon the velocity start increasing, drag means air resistance also start increasing, opposes the motion. Here we need to understand 2 points. Direction of the velocity is always towards the direction of the motion. So where is the motion? Direction of the motion? Direction of the velocity towards that direction. Number two, velocity increases, drag means air resistance increases. Means the air resistance depend on the velocity. Velocity increases, drag increases, velocity decreases, drag decreases. These two things you need to remember. Now, so as soon the skydiver jump, his velocity start increasing and the acceleration becomes constant, right? So, until the air resistance start apply. So until before that, A is equals to G. But as soon the drag start applying the resistance to the falling object, or in this case a skydiver, so what happens? Its acceleration start decreasing, right? And at one time acceleration becomes zero, and whenever the acceleration becomes zero, that means the drag is now equals to the weight of the parachute, and velocity becomes constant, and that time that constant velocity called terminal velocity. Now, he as soon he opens his parachute, the air resistance force starting tremendously increases, right? Filling the parachute with air. So this will becomes the drag force is very much greater than weight. And when the drag is very much greater than weight, what happens? The velocity start decreasing. As soon the velocity start decreasing, remember the body is continuously motion moving downward. There is no change in the motion, right? So body is continuously downward, and the velocity start decreasing, so that the drag also start decreasing. And when the drag is also start decreasing until it becomes again equals to the weight, equals to the weight, right? Equals to the weight again, and at that time acceleration becomes zero, and again the body reaches its terminal velocity, and this terminal velocity is basically it's his landing velocity, right? Okay. So what happened? As soon as he open his parachute, dragging force start increasing uh, within few seconds, right? And then very much greater than the weight of the parachute, and then what happens? Velocity start decreasing from here. Velocity start decreasing, then the velocity start decreasing. The drag becomes also decreasing until it becomes to the weight of the parachute. Okay, and then from that velocity, a parachutist or the skydiver lands. So the point, as soon the immediately after he opens the parachute, as soon he opens the parachute means he's talking about this point. What happened? What happened? Related to the velocity, velocity start decreasing, right? And we know about the direction. Direction is always towards the direction of motion. And here the velocity, the body is moving downward, right? Body is moving downward. That means the direction of the velocity is also downward. So option C is incorrect. Option D is incorrect because the direction of velocity says upward. So it is incorrect. So A and B may be the option. But here in this case, as soon the parachute is open, the velocity decreases. There is only one point the velocity increasing. That point that is actually when he jumps. When he jumps, at that time velocity was increasing. So velocity here the velocity is constant. Here the velocity is you can say increasing, but if the decrease it, here the velocity is decreasing until it become constant. So this is the point. So velocity, the magnitude of the velocity is decreasing and the direction of the velocity is downward. So increasing not possible. So therefore B is also not possible. I guess this question makes a complete understanding about the terminal velocity.